10 seconds and it should be up there on the, yeah, there we go. Gavra Racing is live. Right, hello everybody, welcome to Portimao, welcome to the Premier Series, and welcome back to your two favourite commentators, Tusan028
and Bonnieville99, and I don't know about you two, Saint, but I am thoroughly excited for this race.
Oh yes, definitely. Brand new track here, of course, in the game, added very recently. In fact, there's another track added earlier today, Portimao, Imola even, has done many laps around there already, an unhealthy amount, but should be good to see some league races around that. Hopefully we're going to get it on the calendar for this season, but we'll have to wait and see in terms of that.
And also in the new update, the White Red Bull making its debut appearance here with Cryptek and Harlan Campion. And I don't know about you two, Saint, but that Red Bull looks amazing.
It certainly does. Currently spectating Cryptek Man in P4 in the championship on equal points with Thunder 50-50. They'll be looking to go forward in this championship and indeed in this race. Red Bull have never won a race in the Premier Series before. They've had a few podium finishes courtesy of Tobster in Season 1 and various other replacement drivers, but we're going to ride on board here with Cryptek as he winds up to start a lap here around the Portimao circuit. So then we'll do an audio up lap, shall we, an out lap then for Mr. Cryptek_QN. Heading down in towards turn 1, just up into 8th gear, brings the car to the left hand side of the track, braking down into 5th gear, flying over the curves there, careful not to invalidate, but he has invalidated over there.
Yeah, I think he got a Vista next lap invalidating whilst he was trying to prepare for his lap because his ERS hasn't gone down, so he might just be using this as a banker lap just to get his braking points in check, and he'll probably be gearing up for the next flying lap as Jutsakev has done an 18 flat on a set of soft tyres.
As I believe, so I think we'll probably see the pole time in and around the mid to low 17s, I would expect. Thunder on a bank lap doing 1 minute 30.0. He'll be looking to improve. Heblerino, one of the two sets of brothers in this championship. Heblerino and De Hebler being the German brothers, and then Wolfie and Ted, who is unfortunately not with us tonight. They're in the Alpine, the all-Irish lineup over there for the Anglo-French team. We have the two McLarens following each other now through the middle sector up what is probably the hardest corner on the track in turn 8, also known as Samsung. Apparently found that out today. But yeah, De Hebler then on a lap, not a push lap, but on the mediums nonetheless.
No, De Hebler hasn't validated his lap.
And there you go, that would be why he is not pushing. We've got ex-Natty G as well here, your Season 2 champion. He is on the medium tyres as it stands at the moment. He'll be looking to go forward as well and close the gap to Cash Stengel. Currently stands at 17 points between those two at the top of the standings, and if Natty were to win this race, he would go to over 500 points in his Gavra racing career. That's only counting the major leagues, so Premier, Super and Freshman.
Hello Zetify, hello Mason, hello Gav, hello Dan. Yes, important thing to note out, Zetify, is that Tiger Assassin makes his F1 return, replacing Mr. Ted MC for this race. Not sure if it's a permanent replacement or not, but it is very nice to see the familiar face of Tiger Assassin back in a Formula 1 car.
Well, if he's P4 at the end of this qualifying session, it might just be one of those permanent replacements. He comes back into the pit lane, 1 minute 18.5 on the board right now for the Englishman. Still got about 12 minutes left of this session to go. Just going to reset the UI there. As now Cryptek actually coming through to start a lap. So let's ride on board with the new white Red Bull now. And going down in towards turn 1, although I think he's not got his DRS open, so this is also probably not going to be a very quick lap.
Or what Cryptek might be doing is, because when you put your ERS in hot lap around Portimao, you run out of deployment with about 100 meters before you cross the line. So maybe he's just making sure, yeah, it's definitely a slow lap.
Definitely.
I mean, he is a 10th up on his personal best, but yeah, it's invalidated. So these drivers just pushing where the track limits are. And surprised that not many people are out on the mediums, funny enough.
Yeah, well, still quite a long way to go yet in this qualifying session. Cass on 1 minute 18.3, the highest placed driver on those medium tyres, as you were just talking about there, Ben. GSY Bates on an invalidated lap. Let's see who's actually on a lap. De Hebler is. Let's ride on board then with the McLaren. No, he isn't. That is a very poorly sounding McLaren.
Yeah, he's 2.8 seconds slower.
Yeah, he's that off there.
And Wolfie has run out of fuel, which is very surprising to see.
Right, well, now looking at Cryptek once again. Is he going to come into the pits? He's going to start a lap. Looks like he's winding up here to start a low. He's going into the pits.
Unit J on a lap, come through the very off-cambered corner, which can catch many people out. De Hebler getting out of the way. It's looking pretty good at the moment. This corner can catch a lot of people out because it's a blind entry, and just as Unit J has just found out, it's a very weird corner, that one, because you think you're turning in early, but in fact you've got to turn in a lot later than what you actually think.
Oh, absolutely.
You've also got to be careful on the exit because the back end will step out.
I'm just looking here at ex-Natty G coming through the final few corners. Ferrari's currently 16th and 19th. They will be looking to move forward, I'm sure, in this qualifying session. Natty rounds the final corner then. What is it going to be for the Englishman in the Ferrari in the run-up to the line? It's a 1 minute 18.5, goes into 6th position, less than a tenth of a second behind Tiger. On the mediums, nonetheless, as well.
Yeah, I think Natty will be very happy with that. P6 at the moment, second fastest of the medium runners. He's only 400ths behind Tiger Assassin, so if he can stay in P6 or even improve on that lap time, then I think he'll be very set up for the race.
Oh yeah, certainly. And having a look here, who else is on the track? Quick word about the Ferrari boys, currently leading the way in the Constructors' Championship, so very, very good for them, albeit by just 1 point ahead of Alfa Romeo, their Ferrari customer team, with Red Bull bringing it up in third. And the Red Bull team that Bonnie, that I think, to be honest, it's fair to say we would have been expecting a little bit more from at this stage in the season. Still only, still third in the championship and double the points of the next car, but only fourth in the championship for Cryptek and only sixth for Holland as it stands so far.
Yeah, with Red Bull, I think they've just got been a bit unlucky, to be honest. I mean,
big spin. Sorry for Billy Misu on the exit of turn 9, and he has spun right down the hill there in the Aston Martin. Gets out the way.
That's very weird. Don't know whether he's dropped it over the top in the downhill section, but he's gonna have to be careful because there's an AlphaTauri and an Alpine right behind him.
Looking at Spanel now.
Yeah, with Red Bull, I think they've just been a bit unlucky. I mean, China was probably a race to forget for them, with Holland picking up that puncture in the pit lane, and then Cryptek, unfortunately, having, in my opinion, a racing incident with under 50-50. So I think Red Bull are hoping to bounce back, definitely, in this race.
Yeah, certainly. Looking at Spanel now, as he goes through turn 7 and into turn 8. No invalidations yet for the Czech driver. He rounds the hill, shorts just up through the gears in the Mercedes. Potentially the last season that we have of the black Mercedes in real life F1, but he's gone that's a very peculiar line there, and he's invalidated of lap. I think he might have got spooked there by the Alfa Romeo, potentially.
There's all big spin for Wolfie coming out of turn 4, and that's another corner you've got to watch out for, because it's kind of like a blind crest, and you want to take it roughly at about 4th gear. You don't want to go into 3rd because these massive torques from these V6 hybrids. You want to go into a higher gear to really maximise that, and I think Wolfie's just found out exactly that point, so he might be in for a fresh set of rubber.
Yes, just looking at Geek Fusion here in the Aston Martin as he rounds the top of the hill here. down into third gear for the double blind right-hander, and now we head down the hill. Look at the car drop down the hill, absolutely beautiful. Must be a bit of a roller coaster in real life. The number 2 Aston Martin now through the latter stages of the lap and now into the penultimate corner. Pick your line, get on the power nice and early as you can, up through the gears once again, but don't even think about this final corner. It is completely flat out, and to the line he comes now, out of ERS and into the pits actually. So Heat Fusion choosing to bail on that lap on a set of the medium tyres.
Yeah, incredibly close between the top 7. More people are starting to go on to those medium tyres.
Oh, spin for GSY Bates at turn 2.
Yeah, that's going to be hinder his lap, unfortunately, but he does have more than enough time to go for an outlap and bit box for a new set of tyres.
He has slightly spun again, however. Actually, a word on the Alpha Tauri team. This is the first time in Premier Series racing history that Alpha Tauri have not been have not been leading the Constructors' Championship after the first 3 races. So there you go, there's something.
Yeah, such a lineup with the Alpha Tauris last season and the season before that. I mean, I didn't help much with the Alpha Tauri team as all Heblerino validates on his outlap, so he's got very lucky with that.
Yeah, I think he'll probably just be testing the limits on this outlap before winding it up and going again. So let's see now if the German can convert it then in the McLaren on board now with the German driver. And
yeah, he's coming around the big banky boy, as I call it, of F1.
Alright, and now DRS over. This is a commentated lap here with Heblerino, just double checking that, and down in towards turn 1, braking just after the 100-meter board, down into 5th gear goes for Hebler, and now over the curve and shifting down once again for turn 3, lock up on the front right, as it's very easy to do here. Just balance the throttle now through turn 4 and up the hill. Be careful not to run off of track limits on the outside there. Now down into the hairpin, very, very tricky corner. This braking just up before the 50-meter board, picking up the apex nicely, slinging it through in 2nd gear, and now over the hill. This small crest here and then lift down into 6th gear for turn 8, and now down into turn 8, Samsung corner, misses the apex there a bit, gets the rear a bit lively as well, dropping down the hill now towards turn 9 and up the hill once again into the double apex blind right at turn 10, and he's missed the apex massively there, unfortunately, for Heblerino, and now through into the final sector, picks his braking point here, very, very tricky corner to get right, gets the car nicely rotated, short shifts on the exit to pick up the traction, and once again for the penultimate corner, this is so crucial because it dictates your run all the way to the line from now, and from here on out, it's completely flat out, bringing a nice wide line actually there to the final corner for Heblerino, and he's going to bring it to the pit lane.
Yeah, even before Heblerino took the final corner, he had no battery whatsoever to use. So, bit of a scruffy lap back from Heblerino. I'm sure he's not too impressed with that. But with just under 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the session, I think everyone might go for a set of soft tyres to try and overthrow Jutsukev with a 117.6.
Well, one person who's doing quite good in their return so far is Tiger Assassin, currently P7 in the standings and looking to improve on his lap time, and indeed he is in the very beautiful Alpine Yellows in Sector 3. That is JMB's Thrill, who's had another spin in this qualifying session. He'll wait for Tiger to go through before continuing on with his lap now. Then back to the Brit in the Alpine. Round the penultimate corner here for Tiger Assassin, keeps it nice and tightly to the line, no worries of having a lap time invalidated there, and round the final corner, one of the best shots in F1 if you ask me, to the line. What's going to be for Tiger? It's a 1:18.1, goes onto the front row of the grid. What a lap!
He's going to be very happy with that lap. 2 minutes 20 left in the session. He's got a choice. I'm not sure if he's got enough time to box and put a new set of tyres on. I think he'll be very happy with that lap.
I believe that will be his last run. Wolfie as well for the Alpine team, going into P5 on a 1:18.3, so good stuff from him as well. He's actually using my number there, number 27, but there you go.
Bit of insight here. Thunder 50/50's having real problems, wheelie bad.
Dear.
Lovely puns from you, as always, so that's why Thunder is
Yellows.
10 seconds behind Cryptek.
I thought there were yellows in sector 2, but it's all good. GSY Bates now winding up for another lap on those tyres. They probably won't be giving him all of the grip he needs after those couple of spins. And he looked like he was going to lose it again there, but manages to keep it all gathered up and all together. He's 2/10 down, though, on his lap time. Let's see who's closer towards the end of the lap now. Merckx is down, has validated his lap. There is a Mercedes of Spanel. Yes, of Spanel on an out lap. Tiger will be coming into the pits. It's Jitsi Kev. Okay, let's run on board then with Jitsi Kev. The man who currently sits on provisional poles. Cryptek goes into P2. Jitsi Kev then, the man who has had multiple wins already in the Premier Series over the last couple of seasons in the Ural Kalai Haas, rounds the final corner. Let's run on board then with Jitsi Kev. Up towards the line. Has the DRS open. We'll keep the digital display up so you can see his inputs.
To the left hand side, let's see what it's like into turn 1. Very clean, gets that inside curve very nicely on the run down to turn 3 now. Second gear for him, he wants that rotation, gets into third, upshifts into fourth, he's on that inside curve, very nice for him. He's going now up through the gears. Let's see what his sector 1's like. He's only 600 slower at the moment. He misses the apex a little bit. That might cost him a 10.5 maybe as he's going through the gears now into Samson. Fourth gear down into third. He's got to be careful that the car doesn't snap on him. He gets that sorted out down the hill. Most F1 drivers say this is like a roller coaster and for good reason. Down into third. He gets the apex nicely. Up just third into fourth and he's 800ths up on his time. Only 3 corners to go now. Second gear entry. Hits the apex nicely. Upshifts early into third. Into fourth. Second to last corner. He's taking a tight line. There are 2 lines you can take for that corner as he runs a little bit wide. Not an invalidation. As he comes around the final corner. Lovely camera shot. He has used all of his ERS. Up to the line. What's it going to be for Jitsikev? And it is a 1:17.6. He's not improved, but and very close.
Katz is also failing to improve. Natty goes into P2. Cryptek has backed off of his lap. He will be P3 at best. Holland is still out there on the medium tyres. He has backed off on his lap. Heblerino now on the softs. We'll see what his middle sector split is. He's a 10th up on his time. Thunder 50-50. Now let's go down over here to Thunder, who needs to get a lap in at this point. He's about 4 seconds up, but that's not even going to be enough to put a challenge on the rest of the field. He comes to the line now, and for Thunder 50-50, what is it going to be? It's P2, 1:17.7.
I think Thunder might have solved his wheel issues because what a lap from Thunder's. Heblerino crosses the line and he puts himself 8th with a 1:18.3.
And I think that is going to be the end of qualifying.
Yeah, but I just want to reiterate with you, the top 3, I'm going to go to best tyres. They did their laps on the softs. Cryptek on the mediums. Castengo on the mediums.
Bit of formation flying there from the 2 Red Bull boys.
So strategy is going to be thrown out the window for sure too soon.
Definitely, strategy is definitely up in the air at the moment. You've got Cryptek, who I believe did... Cryptek did that time on the mediums as well there. Cass starting on the mediums as well inside the top 10. Same for Unique J. Holland tried to make the medium strategy work, but he is only in 12th position as it stands. Your freshman league, season 1 champion. They'll have to see which of these strategies works out and which one doesn't. But for the second time in the season, we've got 2 Ferraris in the top 3 in qualifying.
Yeah, got some more people in the chat. Attengrun, he's not looking forward to tomorrow. To be honest, I'm actually loving tomorrow. Me in Portimao is... once you hook a lap up in Portimao, it's very, very satisfying.
It certainly is.
And
now
it's the same with Imola.
Yeah, it's definitely saving him, and I can confirm that. So, Jitsikev takes pole position here. Thunder less than a 10th behind. Natty G in 3rd. Cryptek 4th. Geek Fusion 5th. Tiger Assassin 6th on his return. Castengel, your points leader, in 7th. Heblerino in 8th. Unique J 9th. And Wolfie in 10th. To Hebler's first car of free choice of tyre in 11th. Holland Campion in 12th. JMB Surreal 13th. Billy Misu in the Aston Martin 14th. Merckx 15th. Revkov 16th. Spanel 17th, GSY Bates 18th, and Thiago Santos will round out the grid for his home Grand Prix in 19th and last position.
During qualifying, there was a little notification from Mr. Xnatty G saying there might be rain towards the end of the race.
Oh, that's very, very interesting here. So we could have... That might be why then some people have chosen to go onto the mediums, try and go as long into the race as possible, get to where the rain starts, and then just switch straight to a set of intermediates or indeed to the full wet tyres if necessary.
Yeah, 45 minutes into the race, the rain is meant to be expected, so that is going to be within the, say, the last 5-6 laps maybe.
Which
so
could really spice things up. We have our very own
we
Russian
could get a Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah. That would be a turn up for the books. But yeah, drivers sat on the grid. They'll be going to going through some final setup tweaks if necessary. And
thank you to all 33 people currently watching. If you do want to keep updated, please go to the Instagram and get a follow going for all daily updates and results of each race as the formation lap gets underway. Jutsikev leading them away, followed by Thunder, Xnatty G, and Cryptek.
And look at this outside of the top 10. De Hebler on the hards, but everybody else on a set of the medium compound tyres. We have got only, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers on a set of the softs. This is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Well,
yeah, De Hebler in 11th.
Oh, we've got a spin.
Tyre. Oh, we've got a spin. Who's spun at the... Oh, wow, I think he's very lucky that it's the formation lap and not the actual race.
Well, Cryptek there, if we could just talk about his qualifying for a second, that is a very, very strong position that the Anglo-Pakistani driver has been able to put himself into. He is up there now in P4 on a set of the mediums, can go longer in this race, and we can tell you from some experience that we had earlier on, the softs do wear very, very quickly into the first stints. It'll be interesting to see if Cryptek can make up some places in the early parts of this race.
Yeah, what was surprising for me was the fact that Cryptek was only 2/10 off Jutsikev's pole lap on the medium tyre. As we got the predicted pit stop strategy, if you're on the mediums, lap 14 to 17 for a set of the hard tyres, and I couldn't quite see the other strategy, but I believe that would be the 2-stop.
Yeah, so soft, medium is the strategy for Natty, apparently. That's what AWS says he should be on. But, yeah, reminder, Red Bull have never won a race in the Premier Series before. If Cryptek were to do it today, it would be the first one in Premier Series history. But we're going to get the UI off the screen as the drivers head now to the grid once more. And I'm going to get ready here for 33 laps.
I just want to say before we get going, sorry to interrupt you, Pierre said, where do we think Tiger will finish for his comeback? And Zetzify says first. He is calling it.
There you go. Tiger to take his first ever F1 podium and win, I think that would be. Had many P4 finishes in that season with, was it Absolute Jitsi and, who was in the Alfa Romeo? I forget who was in the Alfa Romeo.
What, we're on about last season?
No, freshman, like season 2 or 3.
Oh, I wouldn't have an idea, unfortunately.
Well, cool. Well, I'll find out, 'cause that's bugging me. Alright then, so, drivers on the grid, we're going to go to 5 red lights, and when they're out, we're going to be racing in Portimao for the first time ever, and Hedlerina's got a drive-through penalty for a jump start, and McLaren going away there well, but look at Jitsi, he's had a very good start. Natty's had a shocker from the front row of the grid, and now Jitsi into turn 1, thought he was going to have a coming together there with the McLaren. He stays out of the way. Now we've got drivers all over the road, and we've got Geek Fusion moving his way now up into second place, but Natty forces him wide, and off the track you've got Cass as well there going through, and you've got a spinner in the background. I think that is one of the Alpines. There's a big crash behind, and there is a Mercedes round as well. I think that might have been Spanel. Indeed it was. The Czech driver got much damage on the track at the moment. This may be a lap 1 safety car here. No, the game does not decide to give us a safety car here at all. Natty goes back up into P3 though around Cash Stengel, who also started on the set of medium tyres. Cryptek has gone back a place now to P5, but it's Jutsikev who still leads here. Got yellows once again in sector 2. That's another spinner.
Samson.
You've got cars
all getting a little bit chaotic here. Yeah, Tiger Assassin got a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. He jittered forward, realised the lights hadn't gone out, stayed in his grid slot when the lights went out, and Heblerino just said, you know
big
what?
crash, and that's Thunder and that's Holland Campion, and they're both off into the grass.
Oh no, it's
Thunder
happened
and Holland,
again.
and once again a Ferrari and a Red Bull involved in an incident here, and this may have to go to the stewards at the end of this race. And Thunder's had a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits as well, whilst off the track, but Natty's looking at Geek Fusion into turn 1. Backs out of it though on this occasion. But once again here, Ben, we've got 2 cars involved in the Constructors' Championship fight in a crash on the first lap, and Thunder is out of this race, and we have a virtual safety car. So virtual safety car right off the bat here, and it's going to be Jutsi who leads, then Geek Fusion in second, Natty in third, Cash Dangle going up to 4th, Cryptek down to 5th, Billy Misu in 6th, Unique J 7th, Wolfie in 8th, JMB3 on 9th, Hebler 10th, Thiago Santos 11th, Spanel 12th, Tiger Assassin 13th, and Heblerino in 14th. Then we've got cars in the pits, and that was such a manic, absolutely manic lap 1, and that is going to be an interesting conversation, I think, later on there between Holland and Thunder as to what exactly happened there.
I didn't get a good shot of it, but after what happened in China, you would have thought they might have, been a bit more settled. It was only lap 1, but as Thiago Santos has picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. But this is really, if your name is Cash Dangle, you're in the prime positions here as we get back under green flag racing. Cash Dangle now the leader on the medium tyres, gets a little bit out of shape, that will be a warning. But for Ferrari and Red Bull, they're just allowing Alfa Romeo Orlen to go away with this, as DRS has been enabled.
You say that, but the other Alfa Romeo is out of the points right now, and the other one looks like he might be about to be overtaken by Cryptek into turn 1. Cryptek closing all the time in the dirty air of the Alfa Romeo, and now as you head through into the latter parts of the first sector, let's see if he can make a move in towards the hairpin. Turn 5 up the hill they go, then through turn 4 winding on the power, and now down this mini back straight. DRS flies open for Cryptek, but crucially not for Cass in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, Cass goes a bit deep into turn 5 though, but he manages to get actually a good exit away to just increase that gap over Cryptek only slightly. Geek Fusion one's just over a second behind Jutsikev, so as Billy Misu picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. But I was just wanting to say that virtual safety car, as Thiago Santos picks up another 3-second time penalty, Cash Dangle picks up a 3-second time penalty.
That's very surprising. As you were saying there, Ben, at the final corner would have been a warning for him. He picks up another one there, somewhere in the lap. But Thiago Santos now looking for a way past the Hebler, and he goes past down the inside of turn 10 and puts that Williams up into the points paying positions then. So that's Thiago into the points in his home race actually here for the Portuguese driver. Jitsi Kev showing his pace at the front of the field now, 1 minute 20.4 for him.
Natty gaining on Geek Fusion.
There's going to be a move into turn 1. He's going up the inside.
Looking. Geek Fusion runs wide. Wide. However, Natty gets the position. Now Geek Fusion's going to be setting up the move into turn 5. You bet he will. Natty has a tighter line. Geek Fusion's going to use that to his advantage. Geek Fusion's going to go for the inside line, and Natty's not going to try and bother to fight, but Geek Fusion again using a lot of his ERS to get past that Ferrari, and Jutsikev said 2.5 second gap. Yes please, thank you very much.
Yeah, certainly there is Natty not able to complete the move then on Geek Fusion. This battle will rage on for a while, I am sure, but what it's doing as well is giving Cass the opportunity to catch up, and they've actually dropped Cryptek by a lot now here, Natty. I think Cryptek might have made a mistake somewhere in there, but someone's made an even bigger mistake, and it looks like it might be Thiago Santos. He's going wheel to wheel. One of the Alpha Tauris gets shoved off the track there to boot, and now down in towards the hairpin. The Williams on the outside, Alpha Tauri on the inside. GSY Bates breaks later and keeps the position for now, but Natty is right in the slipstream of the Aston Martin as they round the final corner and in towards the DRS, and that's going to be a bold move here for Natty to get past the Aston Martin. Geek Fusion doesn't bother defending it. He lets Natty go for now, and into turn 1 Natty takes the position there.
Yeah, but Natty runs a little bit wide, and whilst you were commentating on that battle, there's a nice little battle that was going on the 10th between Tiger Assassin, Spanel and the Hebler. remember the Hebler on the hard, and I think he's got front wing damage. He has, so that's ruined his strategy big time, and he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Really unfortunate for the Hebler, because that seemed like a very good strategy to go on. Meanwhile, the gap up front is 3.1 seconds.
To be honest, this battle kind of stretches from Billy Nisu really in 6th, all the way down to JMB Cyril, who's just keeping up with Wolfie there as well.
Yeah, Geek Fusion on the back of Natty Kashtengo just staying with them.
Spin for Unique J! And he's facing backwards on the track. He spins it back round once again and keeps everything going in the right direction this time. But yeah, that was a bit of an alarming situation there for Unique J, I'm sure.
And I think somewhere in these 5 laps, Cryptek made a mistake, because the gap between him and Cass is 5.3 seconds.
The gap between Cass and Geek is about 0.2 of a second now. We're going down the main straight. Look at how effective that DRS is. And now they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. This can't end well. And look at Cass around the outside, but he's off the track. He may have to give those positions back, as he did gain a lasting advantage. But now Geek Fusion on the inside. There's still wheels were going up the hill in towards turn 4. And Geek Fusion has to slot into line behind the Alfa Romeo, but it's still not over. Going down into the hairpin, Geek Fusion committing to the outside line, trying to drive it now round the outside of the championship leader, and he's got the traction, he's got the grip, and he's got the pace. They're still side by side through the first sector into turn 7, and now into turn 8. They're still side by side, and they're going wheel to wheel up the bridge, up the hill. There's contact. Amazing that no one has any damage here. In towards turn 10, I think Cass has just got his nose in front, but Geek dives it down the inside. And they've been side by side for more or less the entire lap. Natty looking hungry in the background as well. Then now Geek once again trying it down the inside, but just not enough room there. Has to back out of the move.
But there's the back mark of GSY Bates, which will probably be giving them dirty air.
And we'll give DRS to Cash Stengel as well. But look at how far Geek has fallen back now.
Yeah, and he's got no ERS to play with. Natty still has over half. It's going to be an easy move as you like, but Casting actually got the DRS.
No one got DRS there, it looks like. But Natty on the inside into turn 1 gets to move back on Geek Fusion, so instant payback there for the Brit on his fellow Brit.
As Cass locks up though, GSY Bates getting out of the way.
And now Natty with DRS open down the back straight in towards turn 5. He's going to the inside here. He is going to go to the inside. Cass gives in the room, sees him coming, but gets the traction on the exit.
Yellow
and I think that's Unique. Yeah, that's Unique J off at turn 3.
Unique J again. That promotes Tiger up into 9.
Oh, Cass is wide as well there. Natty looking hungry once again as they go up the hill on the exit of Samsung Corner. Now back down the hill. Look at the cars as they crest the hill and fly back down towards turns 9 and 10 now. Thank you to all 38 of you watching.
Multiple times with 3 drivers in a battle, and now he picks up a 3-second time penalty. So advantage to Geek Fusion for the time being, but Jutsikev's the gap is just hovering at around 4 seconds. But with 3 drivers this close, it will end horribly wrong. I'm sure it will sometime
soon. Here we go, back down the main straight once again. Natty in DRS range of his Dutch championship rival. This is P1 and P2 in the championship, battling it out on the track here in Portimao. Is Natty going to make a move here into turn 1? Bit too far away on this occasion. Merckx picking up a 3-second time penalty there, as well as Natty's still hunting the back now of Cass. He actually mounts the curve at turn 3 there, now swinging up the hill with a brand new one-off livery here on his helmet for this round. And now Cass goes defensive, but nothing that Natty can do there, nothing that Geek can do behind them either.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if those soft tyres can go any longer, because, well, we know that the softs will degrade at around about this point. So it'll be interesting to see how long Natty and Geek Fusion and Jutsikev as well can stay out on these soft tyres compared to Cass on the mediums.
And you can see Natty taking a different line there to Cass, trying to get his nose out of the dirty air. But he's just so close to the Alfa Romeo. You really do feel that Natty might have the stronger pace here at the moment than the cars around him. But he just can't get in that clear air to actually use it. Geek as well, but taking a different line to avoid the dirty air. And now through the final corner they come once again as they crest over the hill. Natty there, as we zoom in on him going down the main straight once again, he's going to have a DRS advantage now, closing all the time in the slipstream of the Alfa Romeo. Does he make a move to the inside into turn one? I think it's a little bit too far back on this occasion, however.
Yeah, Cass has got well over 70% of ERS, Natty on 38, Geek Fusion only on 15%, so as Wolfie picks up a 3-second time penalty down in 6th, as the field is just starting to get spread out, unless your name is Cash Dengle, Natty and Geek Fusion.
Or indeed if your name is Billy Misu, JMB Cyril. These two close together out on the track once again. Jutsikev picks up a 3-second time penalty. And actually here, Ben, look at this gap now. It's come down from 4 seconds to about 3.1 in the last couple of laps. So now we're seeing Cass starting to respond to the pace of Jutsikev and starting to close that gap.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see how the latter part of this race works out. Obviously, Cash Dengle can go for longer compared to Jutsikev, Natty and Geek Fusion, but also it'll be interesting to see what tyres Cash Dengle will go for. Will he go for the hard tyres or will he go for the soft tyres?
It certainly will.
So I think with Cash Dengle, this is a bit of a recon. He'll see how far the other drivers around him can go.
Oh, yellows.
As we've got yellows in sector 1, I think that was Heblerino or the Hebler.
Not coming up as anybody spinning on that camera shot there. As these guys now a little bit more spaced out, the whole field to be honest a little bit more spaced out now, apart from JMB Surreal.
Your name is JMB Surreal, who's on the back of Billy Misi. They both have the same amount of ERS. Is he going to go for a move into turn 1? No, he thinks better of it. Wise there from JMB Surreal. Both of them started on medium tyres. Wolfie only 1 second up the road. So JMB Surreal gets a nice exit, doesn't exceed track limits. Is he going to send one into turn 5? He's looking. Maybe to put him into a mistake as Geek Fusion picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, well, we were just saying how good Geek Fusion was looking. I guess we can take that back now.
Mr. Schumacher,
he was feeling
into you.
Oh, hello, Mr. Schumacher. Nice to have you back.
Long time no see.
But yeah, I think Geek Fusion's feeling a bit left out there without a time penalty, but he's picked one up now, and we'll have to serve that at the end of the race.
Yeah, so many people with penalties at the moment. The majority of them are 3 seconds. The Hebler with the 5-second time penalty, so that will be at his next pit stop. Or Jutsikev picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, wow. So Jutsikev into the pits on the end of lap 11. The cars around him will stay out there. I think Geek Fusion as well has dropped some time to Natty G.
It's the mediums. It is the medium tyres for Jutsikev.
It is indeed. And Jutsikev's back out onto the circuit then.
Now, is that a committed 2-stop, or can the softs, or not the softs, the mediums, go that long?
Well, I think the only person who's the answer to that question is Jutsikev. Well, if he's in his homework properly. But yeah, he'll be hoping that they can get to the end from here, and we'll see if Natty or Geek Fusion responds on this lap. I feel like Geek may respond on this lap because he is now losing a significant portion of time per lap to ex-Natty in the Ferrari.
Yeah, these two, the top two, just dropping Geek Fusion at the moment. Gap's about 1.5, 1.4, 1.5. But now Cass is just starting to open his legs out a bit. The gap's coming out to over a second, and people are kind of spread out as JMB Surreal finally got past Billy Misu.
And Billy Misu, all kinds of out of shape there at turn 9, manages to keep it all together and pointing in the right direction in his pursuit of JMB Surreal. As now
will Natty or Geek Fusion come into the pits?
Natty pits.
Yeah, Natty comes into the pits.
Geek Fusion stays out. So, Geek Fusion are obviously going for boxing. Oh, we've got yellow flags there. That is a Aston Martin. It's going to be Billy Meese. Yeah, he's going to cross the grass there. No massive dramas for him. But let's see where Natty now comes out in relation. It's the hard tyres for Natty. Hards for Natty as he gets back out onto the track. Jutsi kept coming down the main straight. Natty coming out of the pit lane now. Jutsi should jump Natty.
Clear.
Yeah, should jump Natty fairly easily.
Assassin going past. Unique J also going past. So that's not really worked out well for next Natty G. But crucially, 11 laps on the mediums, and Cash Dangle did set the fastest lap of the race that time through with a 1 minute 20.4.
And that gap between himself and Geek Fusion now growing to 3.6 seconds here, Ben.
Yeah, the gap between Cash Dangle and Jutsikev, 21 seconds. The gap between him and Natty, 25 seconds. We know Natty is going to the end of the race on those hard tyres, unless, of course, the safety car comes in.
Or indeed if it rains.
Or if it rains, yeah, I've completely forgot about the rain. It's been a hectic 12 laps.
As now, Heblerina actually posting the fastest lap of the race there.
Oh, Levkov and Holland Campion going side by side into Samson. I just picked this up and again wheel to wheel. Holland just saying, no, Revkov not coming through this time.
Getting argy-bargy down there in the battle for 12th position. Holland on the soft tyres, caught up in another early incident with a Ferrari, with Thunder 50-50 even. The last time he just got a puncture into the pit lane. But yeah, he's fighting his way now back through the field, and we've got a spinner. That looks like it might have been an Alpine. Or was it one of the Williams, maybe? But anyway, Geek Fusion... I think
it might have been Mr. Thiago Santos as Jutikev gets past Billy Meese still.
Geek Fusion's into the pits. He has also been jumped by ex-Natty G, so no gained or lost positions there for the British driver.
Wide on the pit exit into turn 1, so the gaps roughly stayed the same during those rounds of pit stops. But now, lucky for Jutsikev, he has a 6.1 second gap to himself and JMB Surreal, who is still behind Wolfie. So Wolfie on those 12 lap old softs is going very, very long into this race, which is quite surprising.
Yes,
Marino sets the fastest lap of the race.
Once again,
1 minute 20.2.
So he's really flying along at the moment. JMB Surreal has caught up to the back of Wolfie now in the AlphaTauri. I find it very interesting there that Natch decided to go to a set of the hard tyres. He's probably thinking long term, I think, for this one.
As Wolfie comes into the pits from P3.
We'll have to see what tyres he goes onto now, the Irishman.
Or unless Natty thinks that the rain, it will come, but I don't know. It feels like it's going to be another Sochi.
It does, sort of, but we just don't know how hard the rain is going to fall as Wolfie exits the pits now. Tiger picking up a 3-second time penalty there, unfortunately for him. He currently finds himself in 6th.
Battle for P5 is really holding up here between Billy Misu, Tiger, and Unique J. Down the inside at turn 5.
Going to go for it down the inside, and beautiful move there from Tiger. He goes up into P5.
Yeah, but Tiger, Billy Misu, and Unique J haven't pitted, so that's the position. Tiger's still on the soft tyres. Again, is interesting as Wolfie went out on a set of mediums.
Yeah, and Tiger actually started the race on those soft tyres, so there you go. That's a mega stint on those so far. Almost half race distance. Indeed, as there goes Billy Misu having a look down the inside, and that was very close to disaster there. But these guys have not stopped in this race yet. Do not forget that. Kripsek as well staying out with Cash Tangle. Gap between those two about 8.8, 8.9 seconds now. As Tiger rounds the penultimate corner. Billy will be looking to get instant payback then on his British rival in the Alpine. As they go onto the main straight now, DRS will fly open for the Aston Martin in his pursuit of the Brit, and it will fly open as well for Unique J in the Mercedes. And we're going to have another 3 wide moment into turn 1. Billy Meese was looking for it down the inside. There's almost contact between the two, but they managed to keep each other out of the managed to keep it out of each other's side pods there through turn 1, and now up the hill in towards turn 4. And Tiger doing a mega job on these tyres right now. Lap 15 laps on those tyres still. He's doing an absolutely fantastic job out here.
Yeah, really good job here from Tiger Assassin. He doesn't have much ERS to play with though, so that's why into turn 1 and 2 you saw his red light flash and he has no energy to play with, whereas Billy Misu has still quite a fair bit. Now I was just looking at the gap to the leaders here, Toussaint. Natty G, well Jutsukev is 21 seconds behind Cass on 3 lap old mediums. Natty is 26 seconds behind Cass, but he is closing, well in fact he's actually right on the back of this battle, so this is going to hinder him massively.
Yeah, certainly.
He needs to clear these cars ASAP.
And I was just about to say, look who was caught up to the back of this train now. It is Mr. X Natty G. He needs to clear these cars, as you said, Ben, as quickly as possible. And now around the final corner, DRS will fly open, but unfortunately it's a DRS train. Will Natty be close enough to make a move here into turn 1 on the Mercedes? But look who is close enough. It's going to be Tiger and Billy Misu wheel to wheel into turn 1. Look at this now, wheel to wheel through turn 1 and into turn 2. Unique J and Unique J Center on the brakes manages to keep it out of the other cars. They're still going side by side up the hill, and now Billy Misu will have DRS once again. But look at X Natty G here in the Ferrari. Natty down the inside. Is it a double overtake for the man in second place in the championship? Look at this battle. We've got
the back of Unique J.
We've got cars.
Madness.
Look, cars absolutely everywhere here. Natty round the outside into turn 7 on Tiger Assassin. He's moved up 1 position, but look at Geek Fusion down the inside of X Natty G at Samsung corner. Gets all kinds of out of shape on the exit. They're still going to go side by side into turn 9 and now up the hill into turn 10. Geek Fusion on the inside. Natty going to try and swoop it round the outside, gets shoved off the track and gets a 3-second time penalty. And now Geek Fusion coming back down the inside and there's contact. How did Geek Fusion not go round? How did Geek Fusion not go round there? As Unique J now looking down the inside of the Aston Martin as well. X Natty G putting up a stout defence there in that battle with Geek Fusion.
Surreal comes into the pits. That might be for a set of soft tyres as Tiger Assassin finally comes into pits but picks up a 5-second time penalty.
Oh, and that is not ideal.
It's a set of hards for J&B Surreal.
So even at this stage, J&B Surreal going to a set of the hard tyres. Tiger definitely going for the mediums. As now Natty finds himself in a bit of
Billy Misu gets a little bit out of shape. Natty into turn 5, you would expect it. Billy Misu goes to the inside. He's made his decision. Natty's going to go around the outside. Is he going to make the move?
Oh, what a move from X Natty G!
Can he get it?
What a move
Can he
there!
Keep it? Yes, he has. What a move by X Natty G.
Beautiful stuff. But Ben, look how far behind Cassie is now. 28 seconds. Yellows, we've got really yellows in sector 2.
I think that was for the Alpha Tauri of GSY Bates, who has not had a good race so far. But yeah, that battling with Fonati has really cost him. Jutsukev 22 seconds behind Cass. So Cass is doing an impeccable job here.
And still keeping pace on those old mediums despite other cars being on pressure tyres. Got a car off, but his Spannel has gone off into the gravel there on the exit of turn 8. Gets it all back onto the track and pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, Castango has done 17 laps on these mediums, and his last lap was a 20.2. Wow. Now, if we compared that to Jutsukev, who's on fresh mediums, he's only done a 20.9.
Whoa,
so Cash Dengle is finding pace out of nowhere.
Because there's that tyres.
He goes through GSY Bates and it's all a bit stagnant.
Maybe Jitsy's struggling to get those tyres up to temperature and in the right working window to unlock his pace. We know he has the pace. He's been leading this race for most of it, but Cass looking very good at the moment. Quick word, no one has ever won 3 races in a row in the Premier Series before. If Cass were to do it today, he would indeed be making a little bit of history.
Yeah, I think with Jutsukev, his tyres are just overheating as he puts so much load on them tyres. The tyres temps are going into the hundreds, 103 degrees through his corner, so his tyres are just simply overheating, Toussaint. And there's not enough straight to cool those mediums down. So I think Jutsukev was focusing a bit more on qualifying than the race, and I think he might have forgot to turn his tyre temps down.
Oh, and Billy Misu cutting the corner there at the final corner. And it looks like did Geek Fusion get a bit of damage there, maybe? Yeah, I think he did get damage, because he's coming into the pits here, Bonnie.
That's really gutting for Geek Fusion. That's messed up his strategy. And there's 5 laps on the mediums. That has to be an unplanned pit stop.
Yeah, they've got a front wing ready.
Yeah,
they've got a front wing ready. So that will drop Geek Fusion then out of contention for this race, certainly. And there might be a claim coming in with him against ex-Natty G, because it looks like that's where the contact came from.
Spaniel, Holland on fresh soft tyres. Spaniel picks up a 3-second time penalty for his issue. Spaniel understeering like crazy. That's I think an Alpine.
That was almost an airplane crash between those two. Holland finally sweeps to the right-hand side and blasts past the Mercedes there into turn 1. A Red Bull overtaking a Mercedes. Where have I seen that before?
As Heblerino trying to be on the back of Spaniel now. The two brothers line astern in this race in 12th and 13th. Turn 5 move for Heblerino. Ubedi is down the inside. Later on the brakes, just makes the corner nicely, and that's P11 for Heblerino with a very nice move.
Absolutely textbook there from Heblerino. Well executed overtake, and now Unique J coming into the pit lane. So is this where we start to see the medium tyre runners come in? I think Cass will be wanting to stay out just for a few more laps. He's loving life out here at the moment. 12 seconds clear of Cryptek, and how many is that now? 22 seconds clear of Jutsi Kev. We've got another change of position there. That's Wolfie overtaking Unique J whilst the Mercedes serves its pit stop service. And Wolfie back out into P6.
This is just an extremely dominant performance here from Cash Dengo, as you said. No one's ever won 3 races on the bounce in the Premier Series. I think we might be seeing that change this race.
Well, there
Soft
you go,
tyres can definitely do 13 laps. I wonder if he'll be in at the end of this lap.
And Holland Campion now, the fastest driver out there on the circuit. 1 minute 19.1 for him on a fresh set of the soft tyres in his pursuit now of Geek Fusion and more points in this race. It's been a great comeback drive from Holland, who had that crash early on in the race with Thunder, who has since retired from the race. Billy Misu lapping there the Williams of Thiago Santos, I believe, and he continues on his way in P5.
Yeah, if Cass was to pit now, he'd be ahead of Jitsikev. Yellows, that's an Aston Martin.
It's Geek Fusion. And Geek Fusion's day goes from bad to worse here, as he now falls down to 10th position. Got another car off, that's a Haas, and that's going to be Merckx. For a second there, I thought that was going to be Jitsikev, and what a turn up for the books that would have been. But yeah, Merckx going on.
Racing at that point.
Oh, and look at this, Thiago Santos. Oh no, sorry, this is being lapped here, Thiago Santos. Sorry, I thought that was Tigris Hassan making a move.
Yeah, it's not gone well for Tiger. He's now a lap down on the leaders.
Look at this though. Cass is about to lap his teammate here, going around the final corner now, and that just shows the contrasting races that the two Alfa Romeo teammates have been having. Cass, your dominant leader so far, is now lapping his teammate. And he's not coming to the pits.
Cass is not pitting. It's Cryptek. I mean, we haven't really spoke about much from Cryptek. Had a really great qualified session, and that gap between himself and Jutsikev has not been coming down. In fact, the gap's been extending.
And
Cryptek just did a 21-1.
Cryptek also staying out.
But for these drives on the mediums, they have to be getting near the 60-65% damage range on those tyres, and they just don't want to get a puncture.
Here's my thing. I think they're trying to. Yeah, they think the rain is going to come earlier than we think, potentially, or this is just the plan that they're going to run from the beginning to make sure that those soft tyres can get to the end with some performance left in them. But at the moment,
unless Natty was bluffing,
Natty was bluffing. But at the moment, though, to be honest, like Cass has got good pace on these tyres. I don't see why he comes to the pit.
Yeah, 2 and 3. I think that was
Mercedes, yeah.
Spaniel, I think it was. Right, Cass coming through the second to last corner. The gap 14 seconds between himself and Cryptek. Is he going to come into the pits? And he is. He's kept right. Now is he going to get the below the speed limit?
He does.
He does very nicely. Now, will Cryptek follow suit, or will he be the race leader?
Natty is just starting Sector 3 now. Cass rolling down the pit lane to his pit stall.
It'll be close between Cass and Jutsikev. Natty 29 seconds behind at the moment.
It is a set of the soft tyres. Cryptek stays out. Cass is back on his way.
Just crossing the line now, coming down towards turn 1.
It's going to be very close. And Jutsikev is only just going to beat Cass out of the pits. But look at the gap that Cass now has back to ex-Natty G.
That battle for Natty G with Billy Misu and the rest of them, that just did not help him at all.
Well, it's cost him about 5 seconds here, Ben. That is huge for the championship. Billy Misu now finally takes off those medium tyres, goes onto a set of the softs as well.
Cass is now in the firing range. He's now calling the shots. He is firing on all 6 cylinders. And now expect a rampage from Castangle.
Oh yeah, I think the lead will be changing hands fairly shortly. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But yeah, with the threat of rain partially imminent, sky still looks very clear at the moment there. But oh, actually, no, there's a gathering of clouds up in Sector 3 that weren't there at the beginning of the race. So who knows?
Lap 23, I think if the rain was going to come, it's either got to come now, or the clouds have got to get a lot heavier as Cryptek will come in now for his soft tyres.
Yeah, but look at this. Cass has already caught
right in the slipstream.
And now down the main straight. This is the move for the lead of the race. Cass going to the outside. Jutsi defends it on the inside. Cass swoops around the outside. Very Lewis Hamilton-esque there from the Dutchman. And he now leads this race on merit. And let's see what you can do from here on in.
Cryptek coming out in P4 respectively. He's 10 seconds behind Natty on a tyre that's 2 compounds softer.
Well,
I reckon Cryptek for a podium.
Well, Cryptek better get his head down, get stuck in, because he's got a big old gap to close, but he has no penalties. Natty's picked up 6 seconds worth. So realistically, Cryptek only has to gain down, well, less than half of that 10-second gap.
True. Yeah, but remember Jutsikev with that 8-second penalty to his name as well. So, I mean, if Cryptek can get past Natty,
that's a
maybe
very good point.
Cryptek P2.
Possibly. So that, I think that would be a little bit of a long shot, because he's also got a... Actually, no. If he catches and passes Natty, at the moment he'll be ahead of Jutsikev as well.
As Cash Dangle put in a 118.1.
That is quick.
As Jutsikev pits, Jutsikev has pitted.
Jutsikev pits?
I thought he was going to go on a 2-stop. It was crossing my mind. I thought the mediums would go to the end quite comfortably, but he is not comfortable on those mediums, and he's going for a set of softs.
But he has that 5-second penalty to serve, which they'll do now. But he is going to drop.
Go past.
He's going to drop behind Wolfie. He could drop behind J&B Surreal as well. J&B Surreal coming down the main straight.
Unique J hot and toe on his fresh mediums. It's going to be close between Jutsikev and Unique J.
Oh, he's right in the middle of this battle now, and J&B's gone off. Unique J is well looking down the inside. And
Unique J might be big snap of oversteer.
Big snap there for Unique J in the dirty air. He now has a DRS though on Jutsikev, but too far away to make a move at this point in time.
I think Jutsikev just got clear of this battle now. Now Jutsikev, I mean, what a race from Wolfie at the moment.
Up there.
He said that he was not comfortable with this track, that he could only do a couple of laps before spinning, and I haven't seen him put a foot wrong.
It's absolutely true. Wolfie has been very, very, very good this race, up here in P4 on merit as well, and he'll be looking to consolidate these points for the Alpine team, who I believe are currently 4th in the time championship, perhaps, maybe, I'm not sure.
I mean, the good thing about Jutsikev serving his 5-second time penalties now is he only has 3 seconds instead of 8, whereas Wolfie has 6 seconds. But Cash Dengle, a 9-second lead over ex-Natty G, and that gap between Natty and Cryptek is 8, well, just under 9 seconds.
It's coming down a lot. Cryptek gaining about a second a lap.
Cryptek's last lap was a 19.7. Natty's last lap was a 20.1.
So about 4/10 of that then Cryptek's gaining. At the moment, I'm not sure if that would be enough to... It would be enough to pass him of the penalties. He's got a slow-moving Haas in Sector 2. I believe that's Merckx. It is Merckx getting out the way of his teammate
and he
there.
Gets well out the way.
He's got front wing damage there as well.
Him. So, Cryptek has no penalties. Natty has 6 seconds. As that's...
Spannel. His Spannel, no, Thiago Santos.
It was blue. I thought it was Wolfie, and I was like, no.
That is the commentator's curse right there.
It is. It really is. I really should not be cursing in the commentary box with all the lols and everything happening, but... So, Natty has 6 seconds worth of penalties. Cryptek has none. And if I'm right, he's only got 1 warning to his name.
Cryptek?
Yeah, Cryptek only has 1 warning to his name. And the gap is 7 seconds. So if he can just get that gap down a little bit more, as he actually has no ERS to... Oh no, not Wolfie, sorry. I'm losing track of everything. Yeah, Cryptek is in prime position for a P2 result here.
Yeah, he's got the gap down now to 7.5 seconds, 1.5 more seconds, and he'll be ahead of Natty G. But I'm sure he won't settle for that. He wants to pass that Ferrari on track.
Cash Dengle again at this point in time. He's moved up 6 positions from his starting grid. Wolfie as well, gaining 6 positions. JB Surreal, Billy Misu also gaining 6 places. So great drive from all of them. As Jitsukev goes a little bit wide at Samson. That might have cost him a little bit. Gap is 3 seconds between himself and Wolfie. It's Tiger Assassin now getting past Heblerino. Heblerino on fresh, soft tyres.
And good stuff there from him. Puts his car up into P12. Looking to go forward a little bit more. His next car is Revkov, who's on a set of the hard tyres, 5.6 seconds in front. Cryptek, though, has got that gap now down to under 7 seconds. He's really going for this. He really wants that P2. Which I believe would be Red Bull's best finish in the Premier Series, yeah, if it were to finish like this.
Piero saying in chat, I don't know how it's again Cass first in 90 seconds. I don't know either, Piero, to be honest.
Well, this is the race that Cass loves to execute. He doesn't necessarily start right at the front of the field, but he'll just go quietly into the first stint. He'll save his tyres, save some fuel, get everything nicely charged up, and then in the second and third stint, he turns into an absolute beast, and he's bossed it so far with just over 5 laps left to run in this race now as it comes around the final corner. Your championship leader and now race leader, Cash Dale.
Yeah, Piero making another good point. It would be Cryptek's first podium in Gavra racing, so
it would be, yeah.
Well done from Cryptek. I mean, coming back to what you were saying about Cass, I mean, a prime example was, for me, USA last year in the Premier. I mean, put it on pole, was happy, and then, I mean, I was happy because, you know, Cass was a couple of positions back, so I'm thinking, okay, it's an easy race, and then out of nowhere, Cass just, on the same side, he just blitzed me.
Helmut Marko will be proud of Cryptek after their first podium of the season.
After the pole position on Singapore, he never get back on top. Helmut Marko will be very pleased to see that white Red Bull.
Well, of course, Cryptek, he likes to say, got dropped from the Red Bull program to go and race in GT Sport for a season, like Alex Albon, but he's back here, and he's racing back for the Red Bull team, and he's currently in P3, so it looks like a good return driver for him so far.
Jitsukev has caught up to the back of Wolfie now.
Quick. That was very quick indeed.
Yeah, 3 lap old softs compared to 14 lap old mediums. Wolfie has actually not got that much ERS between them. As Wolfie's Alpine getting a little bit leery in the corners now as we come up to the top of the hill. Into this triple right-hander, as I like to call it, and Jitsukev actually goes a bit wide. Wolfie goes even wider. Here comes Jitsukev. Will he think about a move?
I think he's just going to wait for the main straight here, isn't he?
Sparks coming from Wolfie's Alpine.
Hopefully
it's very interesting to see. No, I think it was just ground clearance.
Now,
Maybe that Alpine.
how hard does Wolfie defend this position? This is for P4 on the track, but Jutsikev has just got so much better tyres now. He is going to defend it. Jimmy goes defensive on the way into turn 1, and Jutsikev's going to have to fight this. He's going to go around the outside, but with the DRS advantage, gets him before you even get to the braking zone.
Lap 30 of 33. Heavy cloud cover now. Heavy clouds.
No, that's very overcast, that.
Yeah, but with 4 laps to go, will the rain come down hard?
Yeah, will it come hard enough? That is the question.
Yeah, is it even going to come at all? But Wolfie has to be careful now of Unique J on 9-lap old soft tyres, 2.5 seconds behind.
Not
As
seeing...
it would stand, it would be P6 after P5 on track, P6 on penalties.
I'm not seeing any rain anywhere so far, but as you just said there, Ben, very, very overcast.
I'm just trying to find a car, and I'm just going to run aboard Heblerino to see if there's any rain, and I can't see that distinct little white lines.
That's what I'm looking for now as well. But crucially here, if Cass were to win this race, as such at the moment it looks like he may do, he would be joint second in the record for most wins in the Gavra Racing Premier Series. And he'll also be the first person to do that and take 3 in a row.
Cass just breaking new record here as Tiger Assassin picks up another penalty. That adds his tally to 12. So what started out was a great qualifying, guys. Oh, we got a big crash! Big crash!
That's
Heblerino!
Heblerino is in the barrier, but has not got any terminal damage there. That is a big crash there for the German in the McLaren. Yellow's in sector 3. That won't be a safety car or anything because he has got the car back moving again. But yeah, that's a big shame there for Heblerino. Oh,
as I was literally just riding on board with Revkov, and I just see this McLaren spinning off, and yeah, there's no turning as he's coming. More
yellow flags now, and that is that a Thiago Santos? It is a Thiago Santos. He was spun before Samsung corner. Cass now down the back straight. He's got some traffic to get past. Cryptek is within that threshold to Natty, provided that he doesn't pick up a penalty.
Good recovery drive for Holland Campion.
Oh, yeah,
I agree. P8 on those soft tyres, which have done quite a fair bit of laps. 12 laps on those soft tyres. He's keeping Billy Misu at bay. And the gap's just a little bit big compared to JMB Surreal, but a great recovery drive given the circumstances.
And if this rain is coming...
yellow flag, sector 1.
Is that a McLaren?
I think that would be Heblerino with trying to let JMB Surreal through, but he's got Spano behind. There's
a Tiger there in the Alpine. He's actually caught back up.
It's raining.
It's raining.
Coming.
Yep, rain is rain. Rain is rain. Rain is here.
It's on the last lap of the race.
Oh my goodness me! This could get very hectic indeed. This is it's going to be interesting. You can see the rain on the halo.
Oh.
As Tiger's trying to get past Revkov. It looks like it has come a bit too late, isn't it?
If Tiger Assassin on the back of Revkov.
If it goes hard now, then it might have some impact on this race. We just don't know. But Cash Stengel still leads here. We're going to go back down here and look at Revkov and Tiger Assassin. But you can see how much the rain's coming down, and Revkov's had a really poor exit there. Is it getting a bit slippery out there on the circuit, perhaps? As now he's coming under big pressure here from Tiger. As Revkov again goes wide at turn 8. Tiger will be looking at this, absolutely loving it.
Dampening track, it's not a good combination.
Tiger's going to try and go around the outside at turn 10. He's going to try and get the cut back now onto Revkov. He's going to go down the inside. There he goes. There's the move, but he can't make it stick. Well, the man who has made it stick through absolutely every single lap of this race made the strategy work. He rounds the penultimate corner now. No one has ever gone 3 races in a row.
He's lost a load of positions
until now. But it's going to be Cash Stengel, he's going to go back to back to back. That's the winning Portimao for the Dutchman.
Great drive from Cash Dangle. He's really just nailed all the stops. Mr. X90G, second on the road, but with his 6 seconds of penalties, it will be.
Oh, it's going to be close.
In P2.
It's going to be close. It's over 6 seconds.
Really close.
It's very close indeed. Can Cryptek take it? Cryptek
does
takes
it by 400
of a second. That is ridiculous. It's going to be Jutsi Kev.
Jay, is Wolfie gonna get P5 on track, which will unfortunately be P6 on merit?
Jutsi
He
Kev.
will, but what a race from Wolfie as well.
Oh, Unique J goes into 4th. Jutsi Kev drops down to 5th.
Oh my goodness!
Big drama on the line. We didn't even see that one coming.
I didn't even see that one. JMV Surreal finishing 7th for AlphaTauri, Holland Campion in 8th, Geek Fusion in the Aston Martin, bit of an unfortunate race for him in 9th, and Billy Meesil will round out the top 10. Wow.
He is what absolutely just great race in there, and rain at the end as well played a part in some battles, but yeah, Cash Stengel taking the win, first person to go 3 in a row in the Premier Series. It's not looking good if you're going up against an in-game driver of the day. It's not looking good if you're one of this guy's rivals right now.
Yeah, Cash just seems to be on flying form. He's literally just carried that momentum from last season, and he's brought it over into the F1 2021, lifting the winner's trophy, and I think he'll be very happy with that result.
Yeah, extremely happy with that result. Cryptek as well, Red Bull's best finish in the Premier Series in F1. He'll be happy with that as well.
Yeah, Jutsukev said he was switching controller and the AI went into the pits and he got a 5-second penalty.
Oh, that's
so maybe he could get... No, because he went into the pits, didn't he?
Alright, so we'll go through your final race results here. Then Cass takes the win. Cryptek, best finish for Red Bull ever in the history of the Premier Series. Natty G in 3rd, Unique J 4th, Jutsukev 5th, Wolfie 6th, JB Surreal 7th, Holland Campion. Great recovery drive from him, he's in 8th. Geek Fusion 9th and Billy Meesey 10th. Disappointing day for the Aston Martins. Revkov in 11th. Tiger Assassin on his return finishes in 12th position. De Hebler 13th. Spanel 14th. Heblerino 15th. GSY Bates 16th. Thiago Santos 17th. Merckx 18th. And Thunder, the only person to retire from that race after the lap 1 collision that he had with Holland Campion. But yeah, I think going to be a big discussion there about the first lap. He had a lot of incidents towards the back of the field, but I saw there's an Alpine spun round, or a Mercedes, in fact, actually spun round at some point. And yeah, I think there's going to be a big stewards inquiry perhaps into that race. So these results could change. So these definitely are the provisional results.
Just keeps on giving race after race. So yeah, if you did enjoy that, please subscribe to the Gavra Racing YouTube channel and tune in tomorrow where the Super League drivers will take their turn around Portimao. Friday will be GT Sport where Group A will take their Group 4 cars around Interlagos in another sprint race format. Saturday will also be the same for Group B, and Sunday will also feature the Weekend League. So be tuned with Gavra Racing, because there's going to be a lot more action coming your way.
Oh yeah, and we've got this coming back next week as well from, I believe it is Canada, next week here for the Premier Series, so make sure to tune into that one as well. Street Circuit-esque, the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. We're looking forward to that. I'm sure you're all looking forward to that, but from me, from Ben, from the whole team over here at Gavra Racing, that is going to be your lot for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Thank you everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.